Generally, saving pieces from the trash is what I enjoy most about refinishing furniture, and this piece is no different. So I guess you could say it's just another day in the office. But this video is actually part of a Trash to Treasure YouTube challenge. Plenty of other awesome creators are taking part. So if you haven't already, please check out the playlist. I will leave a link in my video description, and you can enjoy plenty of Trash to Treasure projects. Working with heavily painted pieces can be quite challenging, but white paint seems to be the absolute worst for me by far. It's like one step forward and two steps backwards. But when I saw the ad on Facebook, pick up today before it goes in the tip, it wasn't long before I was on my merry way to pick it up. Hey, my name's Cole, and when it comes to restoring and refinishing furniture, I am a repeat offender. The fanciest tool I own is a cordless drill. Being a father to this cool dude is my most favourite thing to do, and I believe that if I skate often, surely I'll remain forever young. The fellow that I collected this from said it was in his garage for many years, and he'd often take screws from it when he was short. So there are quite a few screws missing, which is also likely why there are two handles sadly missing as well. I don't have time to source more of these, but I'll definitely reuse the handles on a future piece as they are awesome. And yes, that was the sound of a piece of veneer being ripped off. I just love making more work for myself. Now I'm going to start with some paint stripper, knowing that I will have to follow up with some other methods to remove the paint later on. But for now, I'm starting with some 40 grit sandpaper to give this stripper a head start. I can tell this hasn't worked to its full potential, probably for one of two reasons. I've either not put enough stripper on, or I've left it on for too long and it's dried out too much, so I will have to go over it again. With the door, I put a lot more stripper on, and you can see it's coming off much easier. It's nice that the sun is coming out, but it's now drying the stripper out much faster than I would like. So I'm going to use a different kind on top. This one is a bit more sloppy, I suppose you could say. So I'm just going to slap that on top, and that should stop it from drying out. I'm now using hot soapy water to give it a really good wash down and remove any residue that's been left behind, and get it all ready for the next process of removing a lot of the white paint that is still there. There's still plenty of white paint in all the cracks and crevices, so I'm going to use a few things here: a carbide scraper, and a knife, just to see what more white paint I can remove. You can see I'm not having much luck here. I'm removing a little bit more, but there's still so much paint left in here, and I'm really struggling to get it out. So I'm going to use some more paint stripper, but in a syringe. The reason why I'm doing that is obviously paint stripper is really messy, and if I go in with a paintbrush, it'll be way more than I need. Whereas this is more direct and it gets right into the crevice. I let that sit for about 10 minutes, and then I go on with a wire brush and my knife again, and this time around I am having a lot more success. Even though I'm only showing you about 20 minutes of this whole process, removing the paint with stripper, scrapers, brushes, all sorts of stuff, it actually probably took me around about, I'd say 10 to 12 hours to get all the paint off absolutely everything. And to be fair, there probably are a few little specks of white paint still left on it, but it does need to keep a little bit of its history, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to tell myself that anyway. I feel like some of my fellow creators might be able to relate to this. I watch back the footage and all I can hear is my heavy breathing. And even in the moment when I'm filming, I am very aware of it, but the microphone just picks up every single thing. So yeah, apologies if it sounds like I'm breathing down your neck. Time for a coffee break. Yeah, right. No rest for the wicked. As you may or may not be aware, we're currently doing up a house that we just purchased. The first room we completed was for Sunny. We put the reveal video for that room up on our other channel, So From Cole, last Monday, and we're now working on the guest room / office, and a new video will drop tomorrow night. We release a video every Monday night, so feel free to check that out if you enjoy a bit of DIY. I will leave a link in the video description to that channel. Now, we obviously take every chance we can to take a break and enjoy the outdoors with Sunny, and these moments are of course the most important.
Is Thomas in Mum's house?
A little bit small.
Up, and then we go knock knock. They climb up the spanners, wrenches, and this is their house. Knock knock. But you can tell.
Here I'm just giving it a final wash down to raise the grain before the final sand. forever picking out white paint. The wood is a very rich red colour, which is lovely but perhaps a little bright, so I'm going to tone it down with a mixture of natural oak and a few drops of black stain, and that gives me a nice kind of chocolate colour, but it will still allow the red tones to come through. The hinges were covered in paint, so I've soaked them in paint remover for around about an hour. Now you'll notice one of the hinges has pink paint all over it, and that's from another piece that I worked on some time ago, but I'm using it as a replacement as one of the hinges on this piece was damaged. I then use a little rub and buff to give them some life back. Now, if you're wondering why I would even bother wearing a glove, I was so focused on this task that I didn't even notice that the glove was now fingerless. I could have patched this veneer tear up with another veneer patch, but I would have had to remove quite a large chunk, and once the backboard is on, it's only a small amount that's visible, so I opt for a wax repair. forgot to film what I did here, but I used a scraper to smooth it out, some 400 grit sandpaper followed by 600 grit, and then I gave it another coat of stain before following up with hard wax oil once it was all dry. A massive thank you if you've made it this far. I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy my content, I'd really appreciate if you could please hit the thumbs up, maybe throw down a comment, and maybe even hit subscribe. I really appreciate all the love. Until next time, take it easy.